What is happening, people? You are now tapped in with me, your host Saskia.
And me, Carrick HB. We also have Luca offset today, who you will meet later on in the show. Just a heads up, we do have some explicit content coming up on the show today, and parental guidance is advised. Right, we have some very interesting new talent from all over Leicester coming up on the show today, and I promise you, you're not going to want to miss a second of it.
Right, if you don't already know, our show is all about the new upcoming talent in Leicester, and our job is to keep you tapped into the freshest tunes this city has to offer.
Over the last 7 days, you, the public, have been voting for what upcoming artists you'd like to see on the show.
We gave you 6 candidates to choose from, however, only 3 can make the cut, and the results are now in. Carrick, tell the people what they've been waiting for.
So, the first artist that you guys voted to be on the show with a very strong 20 points is the amazing Joshua Harsha. Here is more about them and their music. Take a look.
So,
129
I'm
on
Luca,
VT.
and today I'm here with...
My name's Joshua Harsha.
Tell me, what kind of genre of music do you like?
I'm making all sorts at the moment, but I'm mostly known for like rock, electronic, and like a mixture of those two. So those 2 genres are like the biggest ones for me. So I do play guitar, but I also do like mostly produce as well.
So how long have you been making music for?
Probably since, well, 2015 technically.
Wow.
It was 2015, well, I don't know, it might have been even before that. But yeah, my uncle gave me a guitar for my birthday, and that pretty much just derived my passion, and I've been playing that till this day. But I didn't actually start properly doing it until like 2020.
So is it like, is music kind of a temporary hobby, or do you kind of see yourself in a career making this kind of permanent?
Well, that's the idea, yes. Hopefully I can. I mean, it is my main passion. I can't really see myself doing anything else. With the music industry, you can do not anything, but like there's loads of stuff. And to be fair, I'd be willing to fit into any of that, and yeah, the whole thing just interests me.
So thank you so much for coming in, Joshua. I wish you all the best with performing in your career. Once again, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Of course, it was a pleasure.
Awesome. So yeah, we'll see you back in the studio.
And performing live on stage for you is the rock star Joshua Harsha.
Ever since you told me no love would live in this house, turned out the inside out. I tried my best to stay afloat after I sacrificed the ghost in your name in the same room where we fucked as kids. Abraham and Isaac and all of my greatest hits. Oh, and I guess in some way I've always been the guest. Oh, and I guess in some way I've always been the guest. Dancing to Jerskin, I get down on my knees. I told you I loved you in front of Black Midi. I told my friend Charlie that it could have been you. I know it was funny, but I was struggling too. I left my drink on the 18th floor. I thought about jumping in your face when you saw. Thought of my father and proving him wrong, but mostly of Holly and Dylan and my mom. Oh, and I guess in some way I've always been the guest. Oh, and I guess in some way I've always been the guest.
What an amazing performance, Joshua. Thank you, and come and join me on the chairs. Have a little chat, get to know you a bit more.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing today? So how are you doing today, Joshua?
I'm pretty good. Yourself?
I'm good, thank you. So I'm just going to get straight into the interview. Earlier you said that you produce as well. Do you like producing more than actually singing, or what's your thing?
I'd say production is my main thing, really, because that's what I started off with.
Yeah.
However, I do want to up my performance side of things as well as of recent, so I've just been practicing a lot.
Yeah. You also said that you was trying to go into different genres of music. What more are you trying to give the people?
Well, my main genre that I'm good at would probably be electronic. That's again with production, that side of things. But I definitely want to lean more into live music, like rock, and also producing maybe rap and R&B as well.
Sick. With your producing, what artists would you like to work with? Like, if you could pick any celebrity to work with today, who would you pick?
Well, if I have to pick one, it will probably be Damon Albarn. I mean, he's been my biggest inspiration for years now. But yeah, specifically the project Gorillaz, because that's his whole thing as well, just collaborating with artists. So I feel like it'd be great to experience that.
So being a Leicester-based producer, how do you find people to work with in Leicester?
Well, I typically hang around the local band scene. That's where I meet most of fellow musicians, and I've worked with people through that.
Yeah.
However, just friends of friends really that I've come to know, people that's worked in the studio. So, yeah. Well,
thank you for being on the show today, Joshua. That was Joshua Harsha, everybody. If you liked his music, make sure to check him out on Instagram at Joshua Harsha. Right, while you guys were voting for who you wanted on the show last week, we decided to take it to the streets of Leicester and get your opinions on what artists you like and why. Roll the tape!
I'm Henry.
And my name is Irrelevant.
Wonderful. So just want to know, what are the best places to go for music in Leicester? Well, that's a really loaded question because there are quite a few good places. So I'd say probably the best one for new sort of music, really new, interesting music is the big difference.
I feel Revolution is the one. I've been visiting it so many times now. I like the place. And then Sophie, it's a little crowdy, but it's good.
You've got quite a variety in Leicester, I feel like. Obviously, you've got places like Firebug, which we are standing outside of. I recently found a place called Little Sister. That's a little bar, and I gotta say, they played some amazing music. They didn't play one song that I thought was not really my vibe.
Too Funky is pretty good if you like.
We had a lot of different suggestions from you guys, and on our show, we're all about being open and listening to new artists. So if you haven't heard of some of them already, make sure to check them out on social media. Right, bringing it back to the artists you guys voted for last week. Carrick, take it away.
So, the next guest came in with a total of 19 views this time from you viewers, and it's the extremely talented Seven. Here is a short clip about what he does. Take a look.
52 seconds on V2.
7-7, SYVN. I am a music producer, rapper, model, and a couple other things.
What happened?
Born in North West London, now based in Leicester. Right now I have a project open called Sinners Anthem. Unreleased at the moment, but soon come. Really, my creative process first starts with opening my door. I use FL Studio. If you use Logic, your beats ain't there. FL's the best, just letting you know. But yeah, it starts off with a melody, first of all. So I started off with a kind of darkish R&B kind of vibe. When I was coming into the song, I kind of came in with less of an idea and more of an emotion.
And now performing live for you is the talented Seven. Ooh, ooh.
Look. Niggas looking for me in the streets, match your baby mums. You can find me if you ever try to raise your sons. Ben might be the Beamer boy or fuck you, Mercedes dons. C63 the AMG, and that's a crazy one. Niggas looking for me in the streets, match your baby mums. You can find me if you ever want to raise your sons. Big Beamer boy, but fuck you in Mercedes does. C60, aye, listen, look, Ragadon, read the shit in Boston, he hear that shit in Canada. Take the VO, different kind of breed is what I'm telling ya. Take the gal and beat the pussy man is what I'm telling her. 9mm, 50 cal, I'm different caliber. Give you all the spiffing, that's a designated handler. Oh, management can't manage me, I never had no manager. You got this guy, got the butterfly. You can fuck with every single letter, you can't fuck with I. Actually, you gon' make it free, W on plus E. Old Switch playing Nintendo, can't fuck with me, you get it. Last time you got me on social, it's pathetic. It's hard using me, so I tell her I get it, I do. It be hard when you be young and CEO with the crew. If you smelling that it's beef, we got good cop in the stew. Send a DM to your BM, put your dick in your for real. Niggas looking for me in the streets, met your baby mums. You can find me if you ever try to raise the sons. That might be the Beamer, but I'll fuck you in Mercedes. Don't C63 the AMG, it's like niggas looking for me in the streets, met your baby mums. You can find me if you ever try to raise the sons. That might be the Beamer, but with Mercedes, don't C60. Listen, look, easier to fuck these women, me telling the truth. Every woman on this planet thinks they can change you. So if you tell her that you play, she gon' say she play too. But baby, this ain't me when the debut. But when she tries to false, then she tries to blame you. But that's when the perks of honesty do kick in. And that's when you shout and I see you boys for the win. Cause you tried to tell the bitch the truth, but she ain't tryna hear a thing. She was sitting blind with delusions of a wedding ring. Trips to Milan, shot bags in the finer things. And if you ever try to leave a hickey on your neck, you better hit that bitch a reality check. That we're just friends check, no future check. I ain't being rude, baby, I just had to check. Cause them ones there are the ones he intercept. And the brothers bound me and apparently he's riding you. Some niggas looking for me in the streets and at your baby mums. You can find me if you ever try to raise a son. That might be the Beamer boy, but we Mercedes don't C63 the AMG. Aye. Niggas looking for me in the streets, I'm at your baby mums. You can find me if you ever try to raise a son. That might be the Beamer boy, but we Mercedes don't C63 the AMG. That's a crazy one, rockin' in Canada. Go.
What a great show from Seven. Please come and join me on chairs. That was amazing. How do you get on stage and just perform like that? I could never, my nerves would get to me.
Honestly, when I go on that stage, I don't look at nobody. I just listen to the beat. I just think about the words and I just perform. I mean, there's no other way I could explain it.
Would you say that's when you're most yourself?
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, music's always been in my blood, innit?
Yeah.
So when you feel like you're in your natural element, that's when you are in your natural element, innit? Music is my natural element.
I hear that.
So I feel like that's where I work best. That's where my best performance, my best self comes out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When you're in the studio, how do your sessions go? When you have writer's block, for example, what do you do to get out of that?
Very good question. Can't lie. When I have writer's block, I kind of go back into my history of music. When I say that, I go back into my inspirations.
Yeah.
My main inspirations, T the VO, Kanye West, Drake, their production style, the way they write, the way they execute what they're trying to say.
Yeah.
I look back into that and I go and look at the techniques they use, like sampling, the way they use double entendres and such and so forth.
Yeah.
And that's how that's how my process kind of works.
Yeah. So, because you have so many inspirations and you take a lot of advice from them, what makes your work original, would you say?
I think...
what makes you stand out?
What makes me stand out, I would say, is probably the instrumentals I use. All of my instrumentals I produce myself.
Yeah.
I think of myself as mainly a producer and less of a performer. And when you listen to my beats, you'll hear a dark, eerie, bouncy kind of vibe. And I feel like that's what sets me apart. You don't hear that anywhere else. You don't hear that on the radio.
Good
but
stuff.
That's what I'm bringing to the table.
Well, thank you for coming in, Seven. It was amazing having you on the show. If you like Seven's work, make sure to check him out on Instagram at SYPNSVN. Right, we have one more artist coming up for you to close the show. It's the amazing Anya.
You can build to your reply, it should be your deep out. I got around tonight, like if you want, baby, I'm down. Don't need to find reply when I'm not around. จะคิดถึงกันบ้างไหมในใจของเธอมีฉันหรือเปล่า อยู่คนเดียวจะเหงาหรือเปล่าให้ฉันไปอยู่ได้เปล่าอากาศก็ร้อนเธอหนาว like if you want baby I'm down ตรงนั้นเธอฝันหรือเปล่า when I'm not around เธอคิดถึงกันบ้างไหมในใจของเธอมีฉันวนมาเกือบปีนี่ก็เดือนสุดท้าย everywhere is Christmas vibe อย่าเป็นเลยคนใจร้ายลองมาเปิดใจคุณกันหน่อยได้ไหมให้เริ่มตอนนี้มันก็ยังไม่สายคืน countdown I'll be by your side ไม่ต้องกลัวว่าตัวฉันจะหายแค่ทำเรื่องรอให้มันมีความหมาย 365 ผ่านไปเกือบปีแต่ฉันยังคงไม่มีใคร seems alright คงเป็นเพราะฉันไม่ได้ไม่คิดที่จะมีใคร lonely night ยินดีต้อนรับสู่ฤดูหนาวความเหงาที่มีมันก็คูณ3คงจะดีจะมีเธอมาคอยถึงเรื่องที่ฉันได้อ่านเรื่องที่เรานั้นเคยได้ผ่านให้เธอเป็นทุกๆอย่างในคืนสุดท้ายของเดือนนี้จะเป็นดังผ้าห่มที่จะคอยกอดเธอในคืนอากาศหนาววันจะมีหมอกเบลอฉันจะเป็นดังบ้านให้เธอได้พักและเพียงได้รักและจริง so please let me be your December เหงาหรือเปล่าให้ฉันไปอยู่ได้เปล่าอากาศก็เริ่มจะหนาว like if you want baby I'm down ตรงนั้นเธอฝันหรือเปล่า when I'm not around เธอคิดถึงกันบ้างไหมในใจของเธอมีฉันหรือเปล่าอยู่คนเดียวจะเหงาหรือเปล่าให้ฉันไปอยู่ได้เปล่าอากาศก็เริ่มจะหนาว like if you want baby I'm down ตรงนั้นเธอฝันหรือเปล่า when I'm not around เธอคิดถึงกันบ้างไหมในใจของเธอมีฉันหรือเปล่า
That was Anya, last week's winner, if you didn't tune in already. And make sure that you guys are voting next week on our Instagram for the 3 artists you want to be on our show. So, how did you find today's performances?
I mean, the past week has been very eventful, I would say, as we all know. But I think the artists that we pulled through in the end more than made up for that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they're sick. We had a different range of people coming in today.
Yeah, I feel like it's refreshing not to just have one genre of music as well. So we've got people from all different walks of life.
That's what Tapped In is about. If you didn't know, this is what Tapped In is for, to get you guys open to different kind of genres on our show. So
I think Anya was amazing as well, personally. None of us realised, she's also in our group, realised that she could sing at all, let alone sing good. So that was amazing.
Well, that was it for today's show. We hope you guys enjoyed today's show and tapped into some new talent. I've been your host, Saskia.
I've been your host, Carrick HB. Thank you. Goodbye.